Article 50 Action Canon 1711 An action or act is an event in time and dimension based on reason, involving the transmission of energy and awareness relating to form. Canon 1712 All actions or acts may be classified into four categories: general, specific, juridic and prescribed. Canon 1713 A general action or act is any act that takes place that does not involve specialized knowledge or skill, that is neither prescribed, nor related to the official function or statutes of a juridic person. Canon 1714 A specific action or act is any act that takes place that involves the presumption of specialized knowledge or skill, that is neither prescribed, nor related to the official function or statutes of a juridic person. Canon 1715 A juridic act or action is any act that takes place relating to the official function or statutes of a juridic person by a qualified person, including all form which essentially constitutes the act itself, as well as the formalities and requirements imposed by law for the validity of the act. Canon 1716 A prescribed act or action is any act listed by statute of a juridic person as being an offense. Article 51 Ritual Canon 1717 A ritual is any process based on custom, involving the transmission of energy and awareness relating to form. Canon 1718 Any ritual involving the simulation of human or animal sacrifice, or actual sacrifice, is strictly forbidden in all its forms. Canon 1719 Any ritual contrary to the prescript of a valid canon is therefore reprobate, suppressed and not permitted to be revived. Article 52 Custom Canon 1720 A custom is any long-established practice resting on authority by long traditional of consent to justify a ritual. Canon 1721 Whilst a custom may have a long tradition, its lawfulness is dependent upon its consistency to body of canon known as Astra Maris Divini Canonem in accordance with Pactum de Singularis Caelum. Canon 1722 A custom not considered lawful in accordance with these canons is therefore unlawful. A custom alone may not be assumed as an unwritten law. Canon 1723 Any custom contrary to the prescript of a valid canon is therefore reprobate, suppressed and not permitted to be revived. Article 53 Adjudication Canon 1724 Adjudication is the action of promulgating a new form by judicial procedure. Canon 1725 A valid form is considered to be created by adjudication when such form has been orated within a valid court at least once before officials of the valid court issue a document attesting to the form with the same effect, validly registered in a great register of a valid Eucadian society, and the document has been published in at least 2 communication mediums for view as a notice. Article 54 Promulgation Canon 1726 Promulgation is the action of publishing and pronouncing to public view a form, most usually a statute or ordinance in the form of document. Canon 1727 A valid form is considered to be created by promulgation when such form has been orated at least once before officials of a valid Eucadian society, validly registered in a great register of a valid Eucadian society, and the document has been published in at least 2 communication mediums for view. Canon 1728 In relation to valid promulgation, communication mediums include but are not limited to electronic internet and public computer network systems, newspapers, magazines, public libraries and bookstores, registered mail and general mail, fax, phone message, text message, email, television, cable and other live video. Article 55 Registration Canon 1729 Registration is the act and ritual of entering a unique record in a precise manner into an important roll of records known as a register, including any relevant transfer and acknowledgement of certain rights from the holder of the form to the administrators of the register. Canon 1730 The registration of an entry into a superior register in which the form is already registered into an inferior register shall automatically render the inferior record null and void with the lawful conveyance of any rights to the superior register unless the act and ritual of conveyance is found to be in error. Canon 1731 The lowest and least important form of registration is any register not deriving its rights or function from the great register of one heaven, such as registers under claimed Roman, Talmudic and other religious law. Article 56 Extraction Canon 1732 Extraction is the action of the production of a summary form, or to get out by force, effort or contrivance a new form that resembles in some way the original. Canon 1733 An extract may never be correctly called a copy. The word copy implies a faithful duplication of the original. However, an extract is not dependent on an accurate depiction of the original, only a summary or contrivance, which implies an extract may not resemble the original accurately. Article 57 Abstraction Canon 1734 Abstraction is the action of separating a new fictional form from the material of the original so that the new form represents a logic extension and connection to the original. Canon 1735 A valid form is considered to be created by abstraction when such form has been validly registered in a great register of a valid Euclidean society and the document has been published in at least two communication mediums for view. Canon 1736 When registered in the Great Register of One Heaven, the original exists in the original register of one heaven within heaven. Canon 1737 Possession of a valid abstract in no way denotes ownership, nor conveyance of rights, or any form of property to the holder. Article 58 Transaction Canon 1738 The creation of valid form through transaction is when a form is lawfully exchanged between one person to another and this event is properly registered in a great register of a Euclidean society. Article 59 Conveyance Canon 1739 The creation of valid form through conveyance is when a form is transported and transferred from one person to another by form of deed as registered in a valid register of a Euclidean society. Grant is synonymous with conveyance. Canon 1740 In order to transfer title, an instrument must contain apt words of grant which manifest the grantor's intent to make a present conveyance of the land by their deed as distinguished from an intention to convey it at some future time. The absence of valid words of conveyance within a deed, void the deed. Canon 1741 The words grant, convey, assign, set over, transfer and give are indicative of the intent to presently pass title. Canon 1742 A conveyance is only valid when properly registered in a great register of a Euclidean society. Therefore all conveyance of property not properly registered is null and void from the beginning. Canon 1743 If not under a valid Euclidean seal, it is not sufficient to pass legal title to real property.